Pull tighter. Pull, go! I've never seen anything like this before in my life. It's devastating, heartbreaking, and honestly, shocking. Entire neighborhoods swallowed by water, families torn apart in seconds. And yes, even innocent children have lost their lives. Some are pointing fingers, blaming Trump, blaming the government, blaming climate change. Others say it's just Mother Nature doing what she does. And there are those who believe it's God's wrath, a wake up call to a broken world. But in the middle of all this chaos, one man made the ultimate sacrifice to see the people he loved most. This is the story of Julian Ryan, a father, a fiance, a hero. A Texas father has been hailed a hero after sacrificing his life to save his family during a deadly flood. Julian Ryan, just 27 years old, was asleep in his trailer home in Ingram, Texas, with his fiancée, Christina Wilson, his mother, and their two children, a 6-year-old and a 13-month-old, when disaster struck at 4 a.m. on July 4th. Suddenly, water from the surging Guadalupe River came crashing into their home. It just started pouring in, and we had to fight the door to get it closed to make sure not too much get in, Christina told local news.
Ingram, close to the Guadalupe River.
And it just started pouring in. We had to fight the door to get it closed just so that too much didn't come in. And we ran back to the room and we started calling 911.
It was too late. The trailer quickly filled with water, with his two babies already placed on a floating mattress, and the door to the bedroom burst open, and the room began flooding fast.
He was at his house and the house got flooded, so in order to save his family, he broke a window to get him out. And while he was doing that, he cut off an artery in his arm. He got his family to safety, but unfortunately he bled to death.
It just started pouring in. We had to fight the door to get it closed. He had lost all of it, all his blood. He looked at me and the kids and my mother-in-law, and he was, "Sorry, I'm not going to make it. I love y'all." About 6 o'clock, my husband was dead. He looked at me and the kids and my mother-in-law, and he was, "Sorry, I'm not going to make it. I love y'all."
He died a hero, and that will never go unnoticed.
I want to send prayers out to Julian Ryan family. I also want to send my condolences. I'm sorry for y'all loss, but Julian Ryan was a hero. Julian Ryan was the true definition of a man, of a father, of a husband, of a warrior. A lot of people a lot of men sit on here and say, "Oh yeah, I'm a man, I'm macho, I'm this, I'm that." But they wouldn't have did the same thing that Julian Ryan did in the face of trouble, in the face of adversity, in the face of disaster. He put his family life before his. He put their safety before his. He laid down his life so they can continue to live theirs. That's the true definition of a man. A lot of men that say they men wouldn't have did the same. They would have been trying to save themselves. They would have been so focused on keeping their life that they wouldn't have cared if their families lost theirs. We honor people for the wrong things, but he deserves to be honored for that. He went out like a true man, like a true.
As you know, I posted earlier, we are in deep need of some prayer. In Kerrville, Texas, on July 4th, 2025, flash floods took many lives, and a lot of it took place at 4 o'clock in the morning, and nobody even knew. You got tireless people just swimming up and down this river in boats, looking for bodies, looking for hope, looking for miracles.
We have never in our lives seen so much devastation in this manner. That flooding, I took a day off to be with my family. Had a great day. I'm unplugging, so logged back in and seeing what all happened on July 4th. And my God, may God bless them babies. May God bless everybody. May God bless the homeless people that no one knows that they're missing and that they're alive. No one checks on them, who's walking the streets, and that flash flooding happened in seconds. We have to get Trump out of office. I don't care what nobody says. Every single time this man does something, I just made a video about this from what happened in Las Vegas. Every time he does something that impacts people, something catastrophic happens on a mass level. The flooding, oh my gosh. It's not even hurricane season yet. May God bless us all.
So let's get this straight, guys. For months, meteorologists, experts, and media outlets warned that Donald Trump's budget cuts to the National Weather Service were reckless, and that slashing funding and gutting staff would directly hurt their ability to predict severe storms, that it would put lives in danger. And now, right on cue, a deadly flood hits Texas, and state officials are turning around and blaming the Weather Service for inaccurate forecast. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? This is what happens when you hollow out public safety in the name of politics and cruelty. The NWS isn't some luxury. It's not a partisan tool. It's the reason families get warnings in time. It's the reason people evacuate. It's the reason kids make it home from school before the storm hits. But Donald Trump's second term has made it crystal clear. If a program protects people and saves lives but doesn't align with his agenda or help his image, he'll gut it, no matter who it hurts. And then, when disaster strikes, just like the experts said it would, they blame the very people that they've undercut. It's scapegoating at its most cowardly. This flood was tragic, but it wasn't just a freak accident of nature, guys. It was a failure of leadership, a predictable consequence of dismantling the very systems designed to keep us safe. If you're more concerned with scoring political points than funding the people who literally track deadly storms for a living, then you are the danger to public safety.
5 former Weather Service directors wrote Trump a letter warning him that if he continued to cut the funding, there would be fatalities. They told him that. A Florida weatherman had to tell his people during a broadcast that he would no longer be able to forecast the weather. Why? Due to budget cuts. Melania made a statement on Twitter in regards to the lives that were lost. 51 lives that were lost that we know of so far from the flooding in Texas. Man, where is your husband at? Where is y'all's president? Where is y'all daddy at? Because, see, if this had been Biden or Obama and they didn't give no statement yet, y'all president would have been up on every platform he could find on the internet, and he would have been blasting them people. He would have been putting it all out there that they don't care nothing about us. They're only about themselves. If I was the president, I would never have done that. Why would you cut the funding? We need the people. Well, sir, guess what? Under you've cut all types of funding. And these people are severely understaffed. These people didn't have no clue of what was coming their way Friday. And that's on you. These people's blood is on your hands. Yours. And all the supporters, their blood is on your hands too.
Well, good morning, Texas. It is now July 5th. Have you even heard from your president? Has he even made an announcement on social media? God knows he's on there all goddamn day, all goddamn night, and he hasn't said a word. He cuts all of the funding to the things that are going to keep people safe. Keep people safe, because he doesn't believe in climate change. Well, all of you don't believe in climate change for some strange reason, but that's another topic. But you haven't even heard a damn word out of the alleged president's mouth about all of the flooding that's taking place, all of the people in Texas who have died because of this flood, how many people are still missing, all of the property damage. But nope, not a tweet for you guys. None. That's because the alleged president doesn't care about you. Donald Trump doesn't care about the citizens of this country. He only cares about himself, his family, and his little billionaire buddies, and how they can line their pockets, cutting everything in this country that citizens need to survive. The Weather Service, NOAA, all of these things, FEMA. Who's going to help you rebuild? Who? The damn man hasn't even acknowledged you. Hasn't even acknowledged you. But yeah, happy 4th to you, right? Happy 4th of July. You gotta be kidding me. And you people fall for his bullshit. Line after line and time after fucking time.
To the people who asking why the people of Texas wasn't able to get out in time to avoid that flood, go ask Doge. Go ask Doge. Come on, sip a little tea with Auntie. Let's talk about it. My videos don't get no views because Auntie keeps it real. But that's okay because I'm going to keep on talking anyway. Doge defunded. Come on now. The National Weather Service. You know how you used to get flash flood warnings and all that different stuff to your phone? Them people could have had all of that coming to their phone. The weatherman would have been able to tell them ahead of time that this is going to occur. But when you are defunded and act like you won't need them services, guess what? You know, when they do need it, it's not available to them. Then, y'all, the worst case of all, this occurred nightfall. You know, them babies in that camp was already gone to bed. You know, people at their houses, they settling down, they going to bed. They don't think the rain gonna fall like that. They don't think the water gonna surge into their camp, into their homes like that. That's why, y'all. And a lot of people, oh, don't worry about it. They talked to Trump. Trump said he's gonna send funding to take care of them. He should have took care of them before it even happened. You know, the people that died shouldn't have had to fucking die. You know, excuse my French. They shouldn't have had to die, y'all. They shouldn't have had to die. That woman that was in that house with her bed-bound father who was already on hospice should not have to go through that. I'm sorry. Them babies at the camp should not have to go through that. But people don't want to talk about that damn part.
Personally, I am not religious, but if I were, I'd say this looks a whole lot like one of those biblical messages where God decides he's had enough of y'all's bullshit. On Independence Day, no less. In Trump land, on the Bible Belt, the fake Christian capital of the world. I see you, Kerr County. 76% of y'all went for Trump, and now you're flooded, drowned, unfortunately, and washed away. Tragically, but also ironically, Camp Mystic, where a lot of those children were victims, is a Christian summer camp for girls. But if you read your Bible, you know that God loves a good flood when his people disobey. And he's got a long track record of snatching children's lives when he's trying to prove a point. So maybe MAGA is right. Maybe this isn't climate change at all. Maybe it's a good old-fashioned divine lashing. Maybe this is what happens when you worship false prophets like Trump. Maybe this is what happens when you follow actual false prophets in mega churches, lying in God's name while they line their pockets. It just really seems like God is pissed off about something.
So now we are seeing Texas officials blame the National Weather Service for their fault in not evacuating that campsite on time. They're trying to say that the National Weather Service did not predict accurately how much rain was going to fall. Meanwhile, the area that was flooded in Kerrville, which was Camp Mystic, is the most dangerous area in Texas for mass flash flooding. Now, I live in the state of Texas, and as of Thursday, 1 o'clock in the morning, July 4th, I was receiving flash flood alerts. Yes, there were multiple warnings that were issued for the Camp Mystic area in Kerr County, Texas, including flash flood warnings. The warnings, which escalated in intensity throughout the evening, were issued by the National Weather Service. Despite the warnings, the severity of the flooding, which included a rapid rise of the Guadalupe River, caught many by surprise. This is the original flash flood warning that was issued to everyone in Central Texas. The National Weather Service issued several flash flood warnings, with the final one at 2:03 a.m. being particularly urgent, stating that this is a particularly dangerous situation, seek higher ground now. And here you have the judge of Kerr County stating that even though they are used to getting floods, they were not predicting that this flood would be as catastrophic as it was. He just admitted his failure because he says that this area, we're always getting floods, but not to that extent. Had he had listened to the National Weather Service, he would have been able to evacuate those RV sites, including Camp Mystic. Those girls and everyone who was unalived, the 24 that were unalived, would have been saved had they had done their due diligence. But of course, these Republicans that voted for Trump are never going to take accountability. And I hold the blame for Doge and Donald J. Trump's regime for cutting the National Weather Service. They fired 666 workers that worked for the National Weather Service. The National Weather Service has been leading to staffing shortages, the reduced services, potential impacts on the quality of weather forecasts and warnings. These cuts, stemming from the parent organization NOAA, are part of the broader efforts to reduce government spending. The NWS is facing budget cuts, with some projections showing a significant decrease in funding in the fiscal year of 2026. The severe impact to this is reduced staffing and resources are impacting the ability to provide timely and accurate weather information, potentially affecting public safety. So these Republicans in the state of Texas need to put the blame where it needs to be, and that is with Doge and the Donald J. Trump regime.
As we reflect on the heartbreaking loss of lives, including that of Julian Ryan and so many others, our deepest condolences go out to every family affected by this tragedy. This isn't just about a natural disaster. It's also about leadership, priorities, and the value placed on public safety. Many are now questioning whether the Trump administration's decision to cut budgets from essential services like the National Weather Service was a mistake. When you take away money from early warning systems and disaster response and redirect it to agencies like ICE, this is a price the public pays. Families were caught off guard, lives were lost, and the cost is far too high. We can only hope that, moving forward, those in power will treat these issues with the seriousness they deserve and invest in protecting the people, not punishing them. Rest in peace to those who've lost lives, and may the survivors find strength in the days ahead. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you found value in what you shared, kindly consider subscribing and turn on notifications so you never miss any update from my videos. Your support really means a lot, and it helps us keep bringing you more insightful content. Thanks again, and see you in the next video.